Alright, welcome back to the shop. So we flipped that bracket for the winch to go back on the tow hitch because we're making a little boom for the back of the white Toyota SR5. So right now I'm at the point where do I weld these two pieces in with the cross member? I mean, the cross member has to be welded in on top and bottom, but do I weld this to the box or do I bolt this in? Because right now I'm at that point of do I weld it or do I bolt it? Because the bolts are there. I just don't know if the bolts are going to come out of the box to drill the new holes for the plate so I can put the bolts back in their original location. Because I only need 4 because this has 6 in it for the box. And I only need the 2 backs and then the 2 front. The 2 middle ones I won't need. And then we'll have to make the A-frame for up here for the boom. And then a pivot point down there so I can have it at any height I want. And then when I want firewood, I can drop it back down level for the bed. So we can throw wood in here still. So this is where I'm at right now with this. Because I still have a lot of logs to pull out. And the Dodge is completely down right now for hauling logs out for its system. I don't know what's wrong with it right now. It just will not fucking start. So, pretty much done with that truck. I think I'll end up tearing that apart and rebuilding that one later. But this is the project for the week. So, this will probably definitely take me a couple of days. Right now I'm just figuring out if I want to weld this in, because I'll probably end up stick welding it in, because I don't have much wire left for this machine. I got plenty of stick, and then we still have to put the starter in the 77 and test the new fuel pump, what we put in. So I've got a lot of stuff to do. I've been behind on videos for uploading, because I don't really have internet at the house right now until I can get that turned back on. Stuff's just been tight with whole freaking court shit with being on probate for my parents, so shit is slowly getting back to where I need it, but it's still all a pain in the ass to keep up with all this paperwork and bullshit crap with the government, so doing the best I can. But this will be the project for the week. It should be the first video I put out this month for a full project. Considering a lot of stuff has just been like little mishaps here and there, what I've thrown together for wood and stuff. So let me figure this out and we'll be back. Staring at this for a while. So I just realized all 3 of these bolts are not straight down the box. They're at an angle. So this one's on the outside of this rail, the next one's inside, and then the other one's on the other side in the back. So I drill new holes and bolt it in, or I fucking weld it. And I think I'd rather just weld this right in, say fuck it, it's not coming out. Because if this box is coming off at that time, it'll be a couple of years before I take this box off. I mean, the outside of it, she's got some good dents and stuff. But we are going to end up putting an exoskeleton on this truck, because I'll definitely go through the woods a lot with this thing. So I think we're just going to stick weld these in, put our cross members in, because we got our holes on the backside here for the 2 pivot points for the piece to swing back and forth to pick the boom up and down. And then we'll just make the breaks across there and then make a mount in the middle so it can pivot there. And that way it keeps it from swinging back and forth. And then it will pull the winch up instead of pulling it down when I'm dragging, because I just keep bending this fucking tow hitch all the way down and I need it up. And having this bracket now flipped, I can put my tow hitch in, and I can move my trailers and still have this winch on, and it still pulls off. So gotta have everything easy access and move. And I don't think we're gonna put the tailgate back on, because that thing just gets beat the fuck up all the time. So I think we're just gonna weld this. So here we go. All right, so we decided to stick weld this in. We got a couple of spots tacked in so far. And then we'll do this other side, and then we'll be able to cut the bar for a cross, make that mount in the center, and then we'll come back here, add the plate across here, reinforce this for the weight bearing. And I mean, this is already good and solid so far, but they're also, I'm only 150 pounds, maybe 140, give or take. It's not like there's 2 tons hanging off of this yet, so we got to make sure it can hold up. So we're getting there. I mean, I just have some old sticks. They're not the best, but they are working, so we'll make do with them, and hopefully we'll have this all welded in soon. Alright, so we got this back plate in, we got our corner. Next is going to be that piece for the swing and mounting part for the pole, because it's really thick, heavy wall tubing. I don't think I'm going to bend it, but there'll be a possibility. So next I'll have to weld that piece in, but I got to go get the pipe so I know how long it needs to be, where I need to cut it. And I have to add the tube to the end, because I got a good size freaking bolt we'll throw in there. Voila. And then got to make a round pipe for the end of that, so the bolt can go through that and that, so it still can be unbolted and take it out. Ooh, that was like 8 rods what I just went through just to put that corner piece in. Whew. I tell you what, I really suck at stick welding. I need a lot more practice. Alright, so we got the big old pipe in. So now I gotta find a little pipe, or I'll fucking drill some holes. I'm not really sure I want to drill a hole through it, and I already got a hole there. Well, I think we'll find some 2 different size piping. We'll sleeve them, hold it all on to the end down there. So I gotta find them. So I gotta go through my scrap piles and see what I can find before we can weld all that in, and then we can make this hoop bracket for here to have this at the different heights that I need it. So we are getting there. Alright, so we got that piece on, I'll weld it in. So now we got to weld that bracket in. So we'll get that bolt in, get everything lined up, and we'll get that first part in, and we'll go for the second part afterwards. Did forget that it rained last night, so the truck's not all the way in the shop, but we do have it lined up. So we'll get these all welded in, and then we can pull that off and do the insides. So it's gonna get there. At least that's gonna be the first part. Alright, so we got these pieces welded in for the tabs, so we can make the loop up and around to this side for the pole. So we're definitely gonna need to add some bolts through with a plate underneath this to bolt that side down, because it does wiggle, and I kind of don't want it to wiggle. So I'll probably have to get 2 more bolts and cut a piece of plate underneath and bolt it in for down there to keep that from flexing too much and pulling. But we're gonna let these ends cool down, and then the bushings that we made, they've got to be trimmed and everything a little bit, so they'll spin freely for that piece to move back and forth. So, gotta get some lunch, and we'll get right back on this. Alright, so you got the upright up. We got to make the bracket for up there so it stays in place, and then the bracket for the hook what comes off the winch for down there. The winch is sitting on the floor right now. We got everything bolted in. It's all welded. Look good. Got to clean that top piece of all the rust. Got that bolted down in there, double. Everything's all welded in. We're looking good so far. Almost ready for a test. Probably tomorrow. But we'll finish this up. There's a couple more pieces to do. Alright, so we're getting this upper bracket in place. So now we can have the pulley and everything. So still have some supports to put off on either side, but we're double plating it just to make it extra strong. Ended up cutting up a whole tow hitch for all the pieces out of it. That's what I needed, because I didn't want to drill any more holes, because I went through all my drill bits just drilling those holes down there. So we make do with what we got for scrap. Almost there.